Uh, Thank you, Dr. Qureshi. Thank you for inviting me. And more than that, thank you for bringing in people like Dr. Mia with such a vast experience. I think it will be a great learning experience for us.
We have friends from Denmark, Kenya, United States. Professor Thomas
Okay,
Sharp is #1 in network.
great.
And so you will be having international exposure. So over to you, please.
Okay, great. Thank you. So before moving purely on to what Ignite is doing, I would like to share a couple of things with my responsibility as a member in the Ministry of IT and looking after the digital transformation agenda of the government of Pakistan. I would just like to highlight that the government of Pakistan also really take this subject very seriously, and it's very close to the heart of the Prime Minister. And a few months back, Prime Minister of Pakistan introduced a digital transformation agenda for Pakistan. And out of the 5 pillars identified by him, one of the pillar is innovation and entrepreneurship. So you can well imagine the emphasis the government of Pakistan at this point in time lies on the innovation and incubation center. And that's because the reason that if you look at the overall landscape and the current position of Pakistan, it's literally a virgin market. There are very low hanging fruits out there, and it's if we put our efforts right in the right direction collaboratively, I think they can be very productive interventions in the society, and there's good business opportunity for startups. So quickly, if I move to Ignite, it's a government of Pakistan Ministry of IT's organization. Its source of fund comes from the telecom operators. They share 0.5% of the revenue for this R&D purpose. It has been, it was set up in 2006, and I think in the initial 10, 12 years, the primary focus was R&D. But there has been a gradual shift from pure R&D to innovation. So now we are more focusing on projects which directly can add value to the society by becoming a product. So I will come to that how we are managing this shift. Karshi's up, next slide. We have a mix of government and private sector members on the board who drive it. It's sort of an autonomous body where the board of members take the decision. So it's a good private and public partnership going on as far as the Ignite is concerned. The primary role of Ignite is to solve the problem that exists in the society through tech interventions, and again, support our startups to access the global market and tap the opportunities that are available in the global market. That's the basic focus of Ignite. And next slide. So how we are trying to achieve this? We have different programs to do that. Our first program is seed funded. I think that's the oldest program that we have. We fund projects through universities which can be added to the overall landscape of R&D, where they can add value to the society as well. So we have a process in place at Ignite where anyone in the country can give an idea, and they can give a proposal where they can show us that they can take this idea to maturity. We fund that project. Our preference has remained that it should a university professor should be involved in it, so that he looks after the R&D side of it, and also because he's into the sector, so he can engage different people related to to that project. So this has been our pioneering project over the years. And then the second one is our national incubation centers. This we started some 2 years back. And as far as the overall size is concerned, this was the biggest program when it was started. So in certain terms, it was a greenfield project. There were not many precedences available for such a big program. Fortunately, last 2 years, I'll share the details. So again, this is a public-private partnership. Ignite funds the project. We have built certain systems where we fund private entities to establish incubation centers, and they run the incubation centers. They bring in the mentors, they bring in the startups. We just monitor them and fund them. So it's again a very good private public-private partnership, and we see in the future, because if you historically look at governance in Pakistan, I think we lack this private partnership in the past. So I think that's a good model to bring good governance in Pakistan. The third program is the DG skills. This again is a program of this we also started this couple of years back when we realized there are certain digital technologies coming in, and there is a lot of market out there for the people to get good business. So we focus just on the short term and small size projects, and we train the citizens of Pakistan, be it student, be it housewives, or maybe of any age bracket. We impart digital trainings to them, basic digital trainings, for example, web designing, search engine optimization, or maybe graphic designing, which we have analyzed after different surveys and having different programs, that those programs have a market to be tapped in. So we train our citizens to have basic knowledge of digital skills, and that's really heartening that now we have housewives who are freelancers and they are getting businesses from all over the world. So it's a really interesting phenomena with this DG skills as well. And in just 2 to 3 years, we have imparted over a million trainings. That's a phenomenal number, and we plan to expand this program further. So it's a very productive program for the citizens of Pakistan.
And just to add,
And
these videos are available on YouTube maybe, and people in even
yep,
Kenya can benefit that on how to on digital marketing and something like that. Many people are benefiting that all over the world. Yes.
yep, that's great. Yep, that's right. And then the final year project, we also fund final year project. Pakistan is a poor country. A big population of ours live below the poverty line. And we experienced that many talented students could not have a good final year project because they did not have fund to buy the hardware and other materials for their projects. So we fund final year project. And this final year project, we try to again assess the projects which can make some sense, and we fund final year projects so that students can get some practical experience while they are making their final year projects. Besides them, there are again many other initiatives that we are taking. There are hackathons, and then we are arranging different partnership with different organizations to support them in building this innovation ecosystem. So, but overall, we have these four programs. And if I just focus on this NICR, National Incubation Center program that we started in 2017, we have 5 incubation centers in Pakistan. Again, Ignite is not operating them. We have just funded. We made a framework by which we thought that we can have a best output from these NICs, and we went to public. We invited proposals for those NICs, and we have very renewable names in with our NICs. Like in Islamabad, we have Jazz partnered with Team Up for our incubation center in Islamabad. Lahore is Lams and Fatma Ventures. And then Peshawar is LMKT and PTCL. And you can see this industry and academia both. So that's a very good model. And I think that's, we feel that Pakistan is lacking behind in academia and industry license. So it's from different perspective, it's a win-win situation that we are having at the
academia
NICs.
linkage.
Yep, that's great. So it's we are really proud of this program that we are taking, and the Karachi and Lahore are relatively, and the bigger incubators, Islamabad and Quetta and Peshawar, we have relatively smaller, but that's the number, the incubators that we get every year. And we plan to keep this NICs moving forward. I'll share a few plans subsequently as well. And it's a rousing success. We have been acknowledged and we have been appreciated for this initiative. And these are some success numbers. We have incubated over 440 startups. 127 has formally graduated, and they have created over 12,000 jobs, so almost 10 per startup. And one good thing that we see a very good proportion of females in this, because tech, software applications, that's a place where females feel quite comfortable. And female in Pakistan, as far as academic performance is concerned, is no less than male. So in here, we see a lot of female coming in. So that's a very good supportive environment that is available for the females. So, and they feel comfortable about it. And these NICs, they engage mentors, over 150 mentors. And these are not from Pakistan. I think many overseas Pakistanis who have created unicorns, they also come in. So it's a good mentoring process that goes on with these startups. And I think that's what I share with some of my colleagues over there, that when I started my career in late 90s, I took my project, final year project, which was a direct digital control system. And I wanted to make that commercial, and I wanted to take this further. But there was no mentoring. I did not know, because being an engineer, I did not know how to pitch my product, how to get the investment. I could not succeed at that time. And that's what I tell the startups in these NICs, that now you have the environment. The generation before you did not have this opportunity. So avail this opportunity and get maximum out of it. And we have got some good investment committed to these projects. And some of our startups have already started generating revenue. So it's a very good success. There are success stories in our incubators. Crash is up, next slide. Just to give you one picture, that for every dollar that we have invested, our startups have attracted almost $7 for each dollar that we have invested. So that's a good number, keeping in view the environment of what we have in Pakistan, the lack of trust that investors have in the startups in Pakistan. I think that's a very roaring success of these NICs.
Wonderful.
So, but we are not stopping here. I think a big opportunity is out there. So we are trying to tap this. And I think for Dr. Mian, because there are so many experts here, I would like to pitch some of the challenges that we are facing. We are also working to just overcome these challenges. But if one of the biggest challenge that we in Pakistan, though we have very limited resources, but we are not collaborating. Different Ignite has its own NICs, HEC is also running NICs, universities are also running, but we are not collaborating. There is no one holistic view, a holistic objective in front, and different these stakeholders are working in silos. So I think that's a very important thing, that we need to collaborate on this front. And then we lack angel investors. Actually, there is literally no funding or investments available from the private sector. And there are multiple factors of it. The environment itself, there is no legal framework. So the securities and the transparency that is available in Pakistan, people are not comfortable in investing into startups. So that's if you look at multiple things, that it ends up that it's not a lucrative thing, though in terms of percentages they can be very hefty returns. But if you look at from the risk perspective, I think till this point in time, general people feel that it's a risky proposition as far as the investors are concerned. So we have to probably shed away this impression that we have now in the general angel investors in Pakistan. And I think we have to build some or building some mindsets in Pakistan. We are working on some media programs so that we can build some success stories of our startups and make people realize that It's now there is a pillar available where you can invest and get money safely. So as far as the motivation is concerned, again, entrepreneurship is not a simple, it's not like a job. And people who get into entrepreneurship, most of them, they are not aware of the challenges. And one has to face the failures repeatedly and then go to the a path of success. So and once our youth faces that challenge, we have often seen that they give up. So a motivation and a drive to win, it should be built in there with mentoring, and with even it should start from their primary and secondary education.
Okay.
So we need to work on that. And then there is we lack on the mentoring and the training of these startups, because this has not been an old phenomenon in Pakistan, and we have certain challenges. We don't have a lot of experience mentors in Pakistan as well, as far as the requirements are concerned. So the numbers are low. So we have to work on that part as well. So that's been a challenge. As far as our plans are concerned, the collaboration, I think the very important thing that we need to build a robust innovation ecosystem in Pakistan, where all the stakeholders, they work together. And I think when probably there might be some special conditions in Pakistan. Ecosystem means that you not only work for your own objectives, but you also support others in meeting their objectives. I think we lack this in this ecosystem right now in Pakistan. Everyone is working for its own interest. So if you need to build a robust ecosystem, we need to help each other as well. And I think that we should be able to do that with some collaboration to be more open and share things with each other and help out each other. And then we have just these 5 incubation centers, and the other incubation centers, they are mostly general incubation centers where we run general mentoring programs. We plan to have some expansion of these NICs vertically and horizontally. We plan to have some specialty incubators, because in Pakistan there are certain niche markets where there are certain expertise existing in those markets, and then there's some demands as well. So we need to have some specialty incubators as well, and then innovations labs as well. We need to build certain policies. Fortunately, we have recently got SECP had some policy regulation for the startup, but that's just a point. We need to work it further to facilitate those startups. We need to have certain maybe share from the government to these startups. If you look at the procurement of the government